Okay.
Oh my gosh, we're live. This is so exciting.
Hi, Janet.
I love that. Listen, we have been enjoying each other's company for a couple of minutes.
We have.
But I suddenly am feeling like I need to become more alert.
Oh,
now we're seeing what we look like. No,
Okay.
your legs look great.
They look okay.
My legs look a little weird. Look at what's happening
I don't like
here
that
with
angle
this
for your
sort of-
legs.
Yeah, but it's a terrible angle. Listen,
Maybe
in
look
8
at how
seconds
large
we'll be able to see.
My calves look. Oh, look. It's
Look
a
at how
delay. What if this
muscular.
was the entire show? It's
Just us. We ate
watching
5 pot brownies.
ourselves.
and this is just going to be us freaking out
Well,
over
Janet,
ourselves.
thanks for having me because I feel like this is really special that it's your 100th episode. I want to say congratulations to
Thank
you
you
for
so
having
much,
100
Liz.
episodes of something.
I can't believe it. I feel like I didn't know I knew 100 girls. Turns out I still have a long list. Turns out you and I
I had never been on the show.
And we certainly have been talking about it for a long time.
For a really long time.
You're a busy
and
lady. You are on a successful show. You have children.
2 children. And I bailed on you in one of the worst ways ever. But I like scrambled and Lizzie Kaplan replaced me. I sent an email to every actress I was friends with.
Oh my God, it was so nice of you to do that. And
well, it was not nice of me to cancel at the last second. I don't even remember why at this minute.
I think you had to.
I had to go out of town.
Yeah, I think you were going maybe up to like a family thing that you thought was a different weekend or something.
I'm terrible with dates.
Yeah,
I'm really bad. I'm genuinely really bad with dates.
Yeah, I don't have a like. It would be handy to have someone who was kind of just in charge of that for me, who could be like, don't forget that this is this date. This thing that you think is 2 months from now.
Right.
It seemed like it was 2 months from now when it was 2 months from now.
But
now it's tomorrow.
next week.
Yeah.
Exactly. I know.
Exactly.
I know. And my daughter, when you have kids too, then like their dates become a thing that take precedent over your dates. Really.
Sure.
You know.
Your daughter's in dance class.
Yeah, she does all kinds of stuff.
I can only assume she does.
That's
this
a lot
in
of
her
what she
dance
does.
class.
Yeah.
There's gonna be a lot of references to physical activity that you are not going to see when you listen to this version. But if you're privileged enough to be joining us live, listen, I don't know. I gotta be honest with you. I have no idea if anyone's here. I don't know.
How do you find out?
I see that there was a comment 44 minutes ago. I don't know.
To
if
the
that means
testing
there are
guy,
people-
it could be
yeah,
louder.
so if you're listening, and that is something that we had nothing to do with whatsoever. But if you are participating in some way, I guess it'd be fun if you tweeted. I mean, I hate to involve you, but if you tweeted with the hashtag JV Club, that's the only way that we're going to be able to see that you're weighing in, or that you have questions or anything that you want to participate in. By the way, you're welcome to just be a fly on the wall.
I got one.
Oh,
hashtag JV Club.
oh, see, so for some reason,
So how to?
I don't know. Maybe
I just
should,
checked
like,
my
reload this.
Twitter.
Eric, at any time, I want you to feel welcome to participate as well. Oh, look at that. I feel like I can't watch without you. Oh, with our dear friends, Victoria. Fantastic. I want you to all enjoy the couch that I'm sitting on. This is the couch that many people do sit on during the podcast. It won't surprise you to hear that the floor beneath us is the same floor that people choose to sit on that I usually do sit on when I do the podcast.
Wait,
I'm a floor
why?
sitter.
You're a floor sitter?
I'm just a bit of a floor sitter. I like to get down on the floor. Sometimes I roll around a little bit on it. Sometimes my back's giving me problems and I kind of roll around on a foam roller.
I've been having some. Wait, but you don't always videotape it.
I never have.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
well,
this
that
is the
makes sense.
first
I was a
time.
little confused.
Yeah, this is definitely the first time. Brent Hoover is listening. Ben Action Scene. Lauren, Justin, Eric. Oh my God, this is so exciting, you guys.
Well, how come the hashtag didn't work from the guy that tweeted at me? I feel bad for him.
Maybe it's there and it just came in late.
Charles Delaney.
No, Charles. Oh, Charles. Well, are you laughing at us for just wasting all this time? I think maybe it's because he responded right at you.
No.
No,
Maybe because he responded at me and you, and then hashtag
yeah,
JV
that should have
Club.
worked.
Well, anyway.
Listen, okay, Kevin, I need to respond to this right away
What is
because
it?
I need to get my insecurity out about
You
the
look
spray tan.
quite tan.
I do look quite tan. I have a very extreme spray tan. This is not just one spray tan. This is a double layer of spray tan.
And this is for a pilot that you're doing.
This is something that I'm shooting now, and I had to go out to Thousand Oaks this morning and get a bunch of stuff done. So not only am I very tan, I also have a lot of makeup on because I didn't have time to take it back off again. But I am not a particularly tan person.
No, you're not.
And I feel very Donatella Versace.
Can I tell you?
Am I hiding my 70-year-old face with this?
Was this a character choice for the character you're playing?
Yes, she is a very tan. Like,
I made the
wife.
same. I made the same character choice with my character on Cougar Town, and it lasted about half of the first season, and then I was like, seriously,
I can't keep this up. Yeah.
I thought I was dying from inhaling all of the spray tan.
Those fumes, and then your skin just feels
terrible,
sticky afterwards.
Yeah,
and like, I mean, it's certainly better than
actual tanning. Which, I feel like that's over, right? That's over for everyone.
Well, I got to be honest with you. I think this pilot that I'm shooting, Rob Lowe is in, and he's also meant to be very tan. And he did the real thing. And I think he did the real thing like out of doors. And he was like, I know, it was terrible for me. But he also looks like he's 15 years old still. So
what's the deal with like Rob Lowe and Jared Leto and Gwen Stefani? How do they look like they are 29 years old?
First of all, you also look like you're 29 years old. So
that's just because I refuse to wear makeup when I'm not working.
Oh, that's great.
I used to wear a ton of makeup. And like, I used to really like wearing makeup.
Yeah.
And then I think all those years, I wonder, because, I've obviously been doing this since I was 19 years old on TV shows and in movies. If you put together all the time that I've spent in hair and makeup, like how many months or years
I'm going with years.
Yeah, probably years.
I'm going with years. If you're sitting in the chair like 2 hours a day.
Yeah, I think it's like
it is like 2 hours, isn't it?
Yeah, well, at this point on my show now,
you got it down.
We have it down, and we do hair and makeup at the same time. I don't even I don't mess around.
Yeah,
I'm like not going from one chair to another.
Yeah, forget it.
You got to work on me at the same time, and we're in and out in an hour.
That's good.
Like 50 minutes.
I get real wiggly. I'm not the kind of person that wants to sit and have like things done.
I know, and people don't understand that because I feel like a lot of times people say, "Must be so nice and relaxing to get your hair and makeup done every day," and it really, for a minute it is, and then it's not.
And it has bled over into, oh my gosh, that's so funny. Someone just said we just got 2 feet of snow, and I'm sitting here toasting in this tan. Sarah, I'm sorry, 2 feet of snow. By the way, sounds really nice to me right now to tromp around in, but I know it's different when you live in it full time.
I was just in New York, and it snowed the first day I was there.
It's pretty. Were you excited, or is everyone kind of like, we're so over this?
Everyone in New York is so over it. But I was kind of excited because I've been here. Yeah.
Yeah. Because we really had, like, I don't enjoy, and you and I are both from Arizona. Yeah. And I feel like I had my fill of a hot day. I don't need a lot of hot days in my life. So having a hot day in February felt like also cruel.
It's
similarly
cruel.
And I know that's not fair.
I know.
Because it's not snow, but I didn't care for it.
Yeah. I was quite happy with those 3 days of rain we had.
I was too.
2 weeks ago.
The torrential rain with thunder and lightning, which made me feel like the world is ending because we don't ever have thunder and lightning here.
I know.
It's pretty rare.
I do feel like the world is ending, though.
I agree.
It's like a terrible feeling.
Possibly during this podcast.
I hope not, because I would like to be with my family. But
thanks a lot, Busy. What if I really took that to heart? And then she was like, "Oh, I want to be with my husband and my kids.
My 2 kids.
Whatever." So I just want to. We're probably going to bounce all over the place because I'm going to get inspired by things. For example, Love Busy's shoes.
Thanks.
Someone's enjoying your shoes.
I was really excited about these.
Those are really cute shoes. They seem like Gwen Stefani could wear those shoes also.
She totally could.
Right? Girly, boyish.
They're girly, like in the style of Vans. Except I'm embarrassed to tell you, they're like fancy.
Oh, they're very fancy?
Yeah. They're Givenchy.
Pardonnez-moi. I did not realize we were going to dress for the occasion.
Listen, I'm wearing like a Gap shirt dress that was like $25.
Yep.
And
mix
my
and match.
Givenchy high-low. It's all about high-low.
It's all about high-low. Sharon Stone at the Oscars taught us that with her white button-down shirt and then
with that guy that got bit by the Komodo dragon. That was when she was married to that guy that got bit by the Komodo dragon.
Right. I forgot about that adventurous drama.
Every time someone talks about Sharon Stone, all I think about is that poor guy she was married to getting bit by the Komodo dragon. And apparently it was like a really horrible thing for him. Like
they're poisonous?
Yes, and it was
very poisonous.
And he got very, very sick. And it may have, been what ultimately ended their marriage.
You're probably right.
I don't know.
I think we just unlocked the secret to why that marriage failed, knowing absolutely zero about it except that one fact. So that works. All right, I need to get some quick JV Club related questions out of the way so that we can also take questions from these guys. This is so haphazard because I'm so excited to have you guys involved. But I do want to acknowledge again quickly that you and I are both from Arizona. I feel a kinship there for sure. You're from the Scottsdale, Tempe, Phoenix area.
Scottsdale, yeah.
I'm from Tucson.
Right.
A little bit of a battleground.
It's different. It's different.
They are different. And then when did you leave? Did you leave to come do showbiz?
I left to go do showbiz.
But did you go to ASU for a hot second?
No.
Okay.
I came out here actually to go to college. That was the driving force getting me out here. And I think that my parents they knew that I wanted to pursue acting, but I think that they felt comfortable that I was going to be going to a college, living in a dorm. And then
still having the sort of university experience, even though you were...
Yeah, even though I wanted to start immediately.
Which you immediately did.
I sort of, yeah. It was within a year that I got Freaks and Geeks the second semester of my sophomore year, the pilot. And so, and then the show got picked up and then I left school junior year. But yeah, I went to Loyola Marymount University.
Okay. I feel like I remember applying to that school.
Really?
I just applied to whatever sent me like a package and... Some of it was down here, but then I was like, I don't want to live in LA. I want to live in the north, like the Pacific Northwest or in San Francisco.
I only wanted to be in LA.
Dork. Well, because you had ambition. You had like a goal that to the place that you were going. Yes. There was a reason that you were going there.
That's true.
Just wanted the place. Like I just wanted to be, because I didn't know what I wanted to do. Like I thought maybe I would do what you did, and then I just wasn't ready. I guess I just wasn't ready when it came time to actually be like thinking about doing that seriously. I think I was still like, I don't know, maybe I want to be an interior designer. Maybe I want to go do something else. I'm scared. I don't know.
Yeah. There was nothing else for me. I was, my boyfriend from college would tell you that I would lie in bed at night. This is so dramatic and so me. I would lie in bed at night and cry because I wanted to be an actress so bad. I would sob.
Clearly felt it all.
I felt it all.
That's why acting felt so important. What was your life in Scottsdale like before you left? Or do you have siblings?
I have an older sister who's 4 years older. So, and we were, 4 years apart in school. So when I was a freshman in high school, she was a freshman in college and went out of state for college. So
she kind of disappeared during those adolescent formative years.
Right, exactly. So, it was like a lot about my friends. I'm still really close to a lot of people I grew up with, which is so funny because I feel like not a lot of people have that. Some people do, but not a lot of people have it's actually easier now, I think, with Facebook and social media, like to stay in touch and to be really close with the people that you grew up with. But at the time, old lady glamour, but in 1997, I mean, you had your AOL account, but
barely though, right? Barely. I mean, it really was.
Yeah, it was tricky.
I remember getting emails from my friend Torin was in India, and that was like the first time I really needed to rely on that kind of correspondence, because everybody else was still frankly like letters and phone calls, or they just dropped off the map, or you did. Yeah. And that was I totally remember he had his email address was an Angel Fire address, and I was like, I guess that's what I should have. So I had an Angel Fire.
I don't even know what that is.
It sounds like a bad 80s hair, like a girl hair band. I was really into Angel Fire when I was also really into Heart and Stevie Nicks, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's really weird. I've never even heard of that.
Yeah, it was a really early. It was pre-AOL.
I had AOL. That was the first thing I had, and I had that account for a million years. Yeah. Until my husband and I got married, and he said to me, "This is unacceptable. You're not allowed to have this AOL address anymore."
I hate to be this girl, but speaking as a straight-ish girl, I really feel like it has taken the men in my life. I'm not proud of this. I love my techie girlfriends, and I wish that I were more techie. But it really takes a gentleman in my life to continually keep me up to date. Someone is you must how have you not downloaded the latest software for your phone? That thing is going to
Mark
die.
does that to me all the time.
You know
My husband does that to me all the time.
So bad.
Yeah, and I just like let him. There's a thing though that happens, especially when you're married or in a long-term relationship. You know, in whatever capacity, I think whoever the relationship is with, that if one person likes doing something and is good at that something, the other person defers to them.
Yes.
And then that person becomes worse at that thing.
I agree.
Because they're out of practice and they don't ever have to do it.
Yeah.
So the one thing that I defer my technology to Mark, and we've been together a long time now, and a lot of technology has really changed in the time that we've been together. When we started dating, there wasn't even texting.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I know.
I've never had to do that with a guy. I had AOL Instant Messenger on my Sidekick.
Yep.
And
a lot of name dropping.
Listen,
Givenchy.
So I remember, like, I was so excited to get a Sidekick. That was the biggest deal
I did.
to
Please,
me.
that was like a huge deal. I mean,
Yeah.
I didn't even have a Sidekick. I was like, those are the fancy people. Thanks. I just need my giant phone with a little antenna that you pull up. But it's true. Like, there wasn't a whole lot. This is not going to be a podcast about how technology's changed, but there certainly was, like, everything was pretty much the same for us up until a certain point. Right. And then everything exploded and it's like you're constantly playing catch up. But it's not like from when we were 3 years old to when we were like 19, 20 years old, that there was like all this new stuff all the time. It was like you had your home phone. Right. Some people had a car phone. They were rich.
My mom had one, but we weren't rich, but she had one because she was a real estate agent.
You'd need one if you're a realtor.
Yeah, she needed one.
You need one if you're a realtor.
Yeah. Or a doctor. It was like a doctor or a real estate agent.
And probably like Hollywood agents and stuff. But that wasn't part of my
that's
not the Arizona world. I want to quickly just acknowledge some people, because why not? Since that's the idea. Okay, Alana is really hoping to hear some Freaks and Geek stories. We'll see if we can trot some out, since that was technically a fake high school, but it was high school nonetheless.
It was high school.
I cannot say anything, Rachel, about what's going on with Legend of Korra Book 3, because I frankly do not know. I've said it before, I'll say it again. Nickelodeon tells me 0, because they know that I will just tell you guys whether I'm supposed to or not. Very excited to see my friend Sarah Bradley is checked in. This is one of my best friends from high school with whom I am still in touch. That's right. And also, memory serves, a big Freaks and Geeks fan. Sarah, am I wrong? Because I really feel like you were into Freaks and Geeks before I even knew what it was. Thanks for all of the well-wishing, guys, for the 100th episode. Very excited.
I have so many more.
A lot of chords down in this region.
I have so many more.
Well, we can address those too if you want. Yeah, you do have more. Well, we'll have to trade back and forth.
Kevin says it's almost like you're sponsored by the early 2000s tonight. Gap, AOL, and Sidekicks. That is a TBT, to be sure, Kevin.
We are a TBT sponsored by the early 2000s. Okay, so so you were kind of an only child in high school.
A little bit, yeah.
What are you laughing at?
What's happening over there?
Oh yeah, it's good. It's good. Sponsored by If There's Only. Oh, we have. And that's the other thing I should say, and I'll get back to you in just a second.
Jeez,
but there's so much going on. Thank God I hosted HuffPost Live, because it was like this but worse. I would have like a bug in my ear. I'd be reading chat from the producers who weren't talking to me in my ear, and reading comments, and talking to people in like a Google chat room, and it was.
I wouldn't be able. I have too much ADD to handle that.
It was really hard. But we do have something. There have been a bunch of things that that past guests from the podcast have donated that have already sold out, and so they disappear when they get sold. But the things that you see to the right on the screen that are still available, and proceeds are going to the Art of Elysium. Which, do you know what the Art of Elysium is? Have you done anything with them?
Yes.
Why are you laughing? A lot of people don't know.
Well, I don't know, because I feel like I go every I feel like I go every year.
Such a great organization.
Yeah, it's really cool.
That's if you guys haven't had a chance to check out. I've talked about it on the podcast before, but they do specific sort of self-empowerment classes for certain groups of kids who have to be hospitalized. They'll do like kids that have had kidney failure. Mm-hmm. They'll do kids who have diabetes who have to inject themselves like in the middle of class and stuff because they get teased a lot. My favorite program is a program called Girl Talk, which is a program for girls who are born with cleft palates or who've had facial disfigurements of some kind. And there's just a lot of like really great self-esteem building workshop stuff, but then also
like really
great creative people. They bring the arts into the hospitals. Sometimes it's as simple as just going to a waiting room at the children's hospital and reading a story to the kids who are waiting, but it's such a great organization, so I'm very excited to be supporting them. And these are some of the things that you can get. You can get the audio version of Jen Kirkman's book signed. Honey Honey, that's Suzanne Santo, who was a guest. Amazing band. You can get a signed copy of their CD. Copy of It's Just a Fucking Date by Greg Barrett and Amira Ruotola Barrett. Some jeweled earplugs.
That's amazing. Natasha Leggero.
Perfection.
Yes.
Perfection. It's called a breakup because it's broken. I can't believe no one's claimed this yet. It's only $25. It's Greg and Amira's book. It's one of the best, like, sort of funny, great self-help books, I think, in existence.
I feel like I want hilarious. That to just give to friends.
Honestly, I have given it to like 3 friends since I read it, and there's just something, it feels like you and me are sitting here and like you're making me laugh, but somehow I'm healing. Like that is honestly
that's such a nice
what it feels like. It's great.
Description of the book.
I can't say enough good things. Natasha's CD, fantastic. I'll be doing some signed Cora posters. It looks like there are 2 left of those. Sarah Benacasa just came out with a new book called Great. I'm pretty sure that's what it's called. I just freaked out and thought maybe I was wrong because I don't have it right in front of me. And I can pull up some more information on that in a second. Cora DVDs, Gray Delisle, who does basically every cartoon voice in show business is what I feel like, including like Daphne on Scooby-Doo with Linda. And Wah Wubsies, like things I don't even know what they are. She's just constantly working. She will record your voicemail outgoing message in whatever voice you want. Emily Gordon and I are going to be doing some little advice sessions that we talked about doing on the podcast episode with her. And then Heidi Rose Robbins, who I have to tell you is a fabulous astrologer.
I really want an astrologer.
Oh my God, you're going to lose your mind. It's not about, listen. And now I'm just like a person I'm like on the Home Shopping Network. But this is the thing. Heidi and I didn't talk about it that much on her podcast episode because I didn't really want to make it all about like what the sign, And Heidi knows this as well as anyone. And if you're watching, Heidi, hello, and I love you. And thank you so much for making this donation. It's not like, for me personally, it's not as much about the way you sort of think of horoscopes and like, oh, what does my future hold?
But I want that.
Although that exists, absolutely it exists. But as a tool to sort of better understand your own personal strengths and weaknesses and sort of how to manage those, I love the work that she does.
That's
I just think that she's so amazing because it really is about like, okay, well, these qualities that I have that I recognize about myself are maybe not amazing, but they're what I have, and how can I work with them and turn them into strengths? And then what qualities do I have that I really can share with the world and like bring to the table in any new relationship or in existing relationships? It's just wonderful. And she's an amazing poet. So a 30-minute session with her and a signed book of poetry. I'm so excited about that. And then my last one, which I did price the very highest, is Sarah Silverman will record your outgoing message. I just think that is awesome, and she's so incredibly busy that I was so moved that she offered to do that. Anything that comes up for you, like anything that we can think of for you, we can also add to this. So that's what's going on. I want to thank you guys for participating in that, and now I want to get back to Busy Phillips. Kind of an only child in high school,
a little bit, yeah, I would say.
And so how early did you know that you wanted to be an actor? How early? I mean, I know you were crying in college. I know this to be true.
I wanted to do it since I was a kid, since I was in elementary school, since I was in, my first play.
Like it sounds like it's similar for you as it was for me, which is I don't ever really remember not wanting to do it.
Yeah.
Like it just was kind of like, oh yeah, I'm going to.
Yeah.
This is the thing that I love.
Yes. Yeah. And I had one good friend who I'm still friends with, who had an agent in LA because, it's so close when we were kids, and she would fly over and have auditions. And I remember she did a screen test for the part of Wednesday Addams in the Addams Family movies.
Ooh, everyone knows that one too, Christina Ricci.
Yeah. But I mean, like that was
That's
like a huge
big
deal.
And that, by the way, still is a huge deal. If they're willing to like take you in and do a screen test with you, they don't do that with very many people.
And so I had
Were you so envious?
I was so envious. And I begged my mother to like, why can't we go to LA and get me an agent? And she was just really adamant. My mom did theater in high school and she had wanted to be an actress. And at the time was very different. And her parents were not so supportive of her moving to New York. She wanted to go. She'd been accepted in the Circle and the Square Theater in New York.
Oh, yeah.
And her parents didn't let her go. And she, you know, it is. But luckily for me,
she was able to live her dream through you.
No, but they were so supportive, but also smart in that, you know, my mom felt really strongly that, you know, theater and could be a really fun hobby for me and something that I could do in addition to school and being a regular kid and playing softball in the 113-degree heat. And
that's amazing. I've avoided sports pretty much at all costs, pretty much because of the heat.
I only did softball.
Yeah.
I only did softball. And I like weirdly don't remember the heat. I think don't you remember that you're just used to it?
Yeah, but we had like a swamp cooler at home at my dad's, and so it never really got that cold inside.
And my parents were like, it was like cranked down.
Yeah, that's great.
I had a lot
ozone,
of sweaty like directly nights above our house.
That's right. Thanks for being those Phoenicians
Sorry.
who want to pretend that they're living in an oasis. Yeah. I understand. Yeah, I think I had a lot of like summer nights of like you can't cool down.
Oh no,
just
not my
sweating
house.
And like sitting in front of the fan and doing like Darth Vader voice into the oscillating fan because it makes your voice go ba-da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
We used to put my friend Lisa Urbitman came up with this game where we would put cups of water on my ceiling fan and then turn it on full tilt.
Sprinkler. Sure, that's called sprinklers. Hello. It's a perfectly adequate indoor invention. That's probably the way that fire sprinklers
so
were
much trouble. Yeah. And then we would put our Barbies on the ceiling fan and turn it on.
Of course. Did you mutilate and mangle your dolls, or was it like
I loved my Barbies.
Yeah.
I loved my Barbies, but I wasn't precious because I had like 4 million Barbie dolls.
Nice.
And so we would. I had the most Barbies of any of my friends.
Did you?
Yeah.
Did you have? Let's play this game. Did you have the car? You must have.
Yeah, of course.
Did you have the Barbie's dream house?
I had a dream house. Yeah, I don't know. It was I had the one with the elevator that you like pull.
I think that's Barbie's dream
I had
house.
Barbie McDonald's.
Oh my, I didn't even know there was a Barbie McDonald's.
I had Barbie ice cream shop.
Fun.
I think I had like a Barbie camper.
Oh, I think I might have had that camper. It really just looked like an RV kind of.
Yeah.
I definitely had that.
Barbie pink Corvette.
My Corvette, I think, was red for some reason. It was probably a knockoff.
Yeah, mine was pink. My favorite Barbie was a Barbie called Peaches and Cream Barbie.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
I loved Peaches and Cream, and I also had Day to Night Barbie. Because she was like dressed for the office during the day, and then her skirt turned inside out.
I totally remember. Wasn't it like kind of a metallic-y thing
yes,
on the inside?
Yes.
Yeah, I totally remember that.
100%. I think it had a peplum.
I think it had a peplum also. Barbie's very
sure.
stylish.
She was stylish.
But
I loved Barbie.
I did too, and I don't know how much I talk about that on the podcast. I feel like it's not cool for me to have loved Barbie because in some ways I was rather boyish as well. But my aunt kept giving me Barbies, and then suddenly you're like, and I do love tiny things, which I've talked about on the podcast.
I love tiny things too.
I love miniatures. So once you start shrinking something down, I'm done.
Did you ever go to the Museum of Miniatures? It's closed now.
No, and it was closed before I moved down here, and I found out about it, and there was still some old thing online that it existed, and I went there.
It's a real loss.
Shattered.
It's a loss to Los
because I had
Angeles.
seen pictures online. I was like, this is gonna be like my fantasy.
Yeah, it was amazing.
Did you what happened to all those miniatures?
It's got to be a private collection, right? Somebody must have. We should find out.
Let's do a little research.
You're
on a show. We can totally get permission. One of the stars of Cougar Town would like to view your collection.
Maurice. Let me open the doors. Why Cougar Town? Why didn't you say that sooner?
My jet will be there to pick you up shortly. Amazing. I would like to do some research on that. If I had an intern, I'd be like, make a note that we need to, but we don't have that.
No.
We don't have that. I'm too lo-fi. Praying my internet doesn't crap out during JV Club. I also hope that for you, Paige. Oh, that was a while ago. I think I might need to refresh, guys. Watch, everyone was like, I can't handle this. I'm logging
out.
off
Barbie
immediately.
Talk.
What else we got? Barbie just had her 50th birthday this week.
So, okay.
You think we planned that?
I feel like I never talk about this, but my first professional acting job is actually tied to Barbie.
Please reveal all.
When I was in high school in Arizona, and I was getting so antsy because I wanted to be a professional actress, Janet.
Yes. And you don't have the feel of that when you're in Arizona. You're so painfully aware how close, how adjacent to like showbiz you are.
Right.
But still like a huge desert between you and it.
Totally. So they had this thing that came through town called the pre-toy fair. And Toy Fair is something that happens in New York City every year. And it's where all the big toy companies unveil their toys for the year. And all the buyers come from all over the world and they buy the toys. When pre-toy fair was in Scottsdale at the Phoenician. And they held auditions for actors to basically you were hired as like a live version of the toy. And you had like a whole
overjoyed by this.
You had a whole sales pitch that you would give to the buyers when they would come through. And, you know, it was just like a huge convention center cordoned off into little rooms and every toy had their own little room and the buyers would come through. So I went to the open call and it was the year of the Clueless TV show. They were doing a doll, not from the movie, from the TV show.
Who played the girl on the TV show?
I've seen her at auditions. Like I feel like many years ago. Isn't it Rachel somebody? Rachel. God, what's her
Rachel
name?
Lee Cook?
No.
Then I really don't know.
No.
That's the only Rachel I could think of.
She was Canadian. I don't remember.
Definitely
but anyway,
not Rachel McAdams.
Not Rachel McAdams. Not Rachel McAdams. Okay. But anyway, so I got cast to be the Clueless doll.
Amazing.
So, but because of that, so I did the pre-toy fair and then they brought me to New York to do the toy fair.
Hey.
I know. It was a big deal.
Did they do that with anybody else?
No, I was the only one. But it was so specific what I was doing. I was doing an impression of Cher, you know, Alicia Silverstone or whoever that girl was.
What if you misunderstood and we're doing an impression of Cher?
Actually, I'm no. And yeah, and it was really so awesome. But because of that, I met an actress from Los Angeles. They hired in the Phoenix Toy Fair, they hired a lot of actresses from LA to fly over because they couldn't supplement with just the Phoenix based talent. Aww.
This is so serious.
It's so serious.
Like, what a craft
but anyway,
it became.
I met an actress named Lisa Guerrero, who then for a while was a Fox News sports anchor.
Okay.
Anyway, when I moved out here to go to college, she introduced me to her manager. Her manager signed me, and that's how I got my agent, and that's how I got Freaks and Geeks.
That's crazy. So for sure, not only was it tied to Barbie, but it basically is responsible for your entire career.
It's 100% like how, I mean, really, I don't know how I would have gotten representation.
It's really amazing that the toy fair ended up being. I love watching Eric respond to like tweets as they come in that are making him laugh.
Can we see them?
I know. Well, this is the other thing that I was thinking, guys, is that here I like what I had said, Busy, when I announced that I was going to do this was like, going to be in the room. Like, this is my house. This is the room where it all happens. And then now the angle is so tight that it's like, could be a couch anywhere. So maybe like towards the end, we'll just like, Eric, you can get up and you can just do like a quick pan around if you want to. He can try. But I can't.
I think that sounds like a good idea.
Eric can make it happen, and maybe the pan around will involve him as well. But we don't usually have a third party sitting inside this room. Certainly, we also don't have a camera. Everyone knows that. But thank you for being a part of this and for not making us feel uncomfortable as we talk about Barbies. I really appreciate it. I think one of the only, like really, there have only been a couple more times when anyone has been here for the podcast, which included my darling Victoria, who I just am seeing is here and says that your dad sends you Barbies for every birthday and Christmas to this day. Wait, you got 21 on your 21st birthday? Your father bought you 21 Barbies for one birthday?
Whoa. Wait, for your 21st birthday?
For your 21st birthday?
Oh, wow.
Somebody got.
That's interesting.
I think maybe she has more Barbies than you do.
Probably.
I think you got out Barbied. Side note, my roommate in part of college's name was Barbie, and in no way reminded me of the doll Barbie, but was a total badass. She was more of like if Ani DeFranco was a Barbie.
My mom's name is Barbara.
Did she go by Barbie?
No, I call her Babs sometimes.
Babs is pretty.
I called her Babs in
like
high
classic.
school. In high school, I would call her Babs to annoy her, just to bug her. Be like, Babs, calm down.
Babs.
Can you imagine? I'm really in for it with these two girls. Let me tell you. It is coming back to me full tilt.
Yeah, you're gonna get it all back.
Oh,
they're gonna be
it.
sassafras as if they're like you. You are
They're
pretty sassy.
Already sassy. The 8-month-old. I mean, the 8-month-old, I can tell from her personality is going to be a crazy person. Like, just give me a total run for my money. And Birdie is so sassy and so hilarious. She said, I took her to Pottery Barn Kids the other day. I know this is off topic, but whatever. I took her to Pottery Barn.
There's no topic. We're so off topic. There's no topic.
I took her to Pottery Barn Kids, and I was buying her new sheets for her bed. And because she got a new big bed. We're in the bathroom and we're washing our hands, and I said something, I don't know. And then she kind of like whipped around. She's 5.5. And she was going to say something mean to me. I could tell. And she stopped herself. And I just stopped and I was like, hey, Birdie, is it hard for you sometimes to be nice to me? like I'm not judging. I just genuinely, I remember that feeling. And she looks sort of sheepish. And she said, it really is, Mama, and I don't know why.
What an interesting, but also I'm so fascinated and impressed that you had the presence of mind to think to ask that question and to ask it, like not to just think it to yourself, but to think, you know what, I'm going to ask my daughter this.
Yeah. And then I said to her, I followed up with, you know, honey, I think that sometimes that's just part of having a mom. Is that you feel that way, and it's okay because I'll always love you, even if you do feel like saying mean things to me sometimes.
Yeah. Did it feel now sensitive, busy, who lay awake, crying about being an actress? Was there a part of your heart that was like, my own daughter is frustrated by me, or do you just feel that just the love and sort of like interest in the experience of being a parent overwhelm that stuff?
Yeah, I mean a little bit that. My husband is really good about reminding me not to be so sensitive when it comes to the girls, especially, I mean, obviously the older one. The baby doesn't really do anything to hurt my feelings yet. Yet. You can't take it personally. It's so hard. And I think that my mom did take a lot personally when I was growing up. Babs. and I think that it really, you know, she would get like sort of deeply wounded, and that would only infuriate me more. Do you remember that feeling?
I do, because I remember my parents, both of them being like, I guess I'm just not a good mom or
right.
And I'd be like, ugh, it's going down
it's
that road.
It's not about you.
Yeah. Like, but now it makes so much sense that they would be that way.
Yeah. No, and it's hard. I mean, there's so many things that are complicated about having kids, you know, because it's, for me, it's that time in my life is still so easily accessible for what I just like feel like it. I'm 34, but I feel like I could be 24 or 18 or 14. Yeah. And, you know, so it's really hard to not get your feelings hurt and to not project a bunch of your own weird business onto your kids. Like Birdie was having some issues a year ago at her preschool with some girls. Like there was already like a mean girl situation happening. Yeah. And my whole thing, I have this whole thing that's my entire life from childhood, from elementary and middle and high school, about feeling left out. Like I'm not a part of the group. Like everybody else is a part of the group and I'm like over here left out. And I was freaking out about these mean girls. And my husband had to sit me down one night and he said, Birdie's life is not your life. Like she's not, don't put that on her because she's going to feel that, whatever, you know? So it's like therapy. Actually, you have to work on it.
Absolutely. Well, so when you were in high school, you did have that sort of feeling of being on the periphery in some way?
100%.
What, can you talk about that a little bit more? I mean, I think a lot of us experience that, but it's always good and interesting to hear in what shape, what form it takes.
I mean, I think I was always sort of a quirky person. And
thank God for that.
You know what I mean? Right. Of course. And I think it served me very well in this career and as an adult, and being able to know who you are. And, but those qualities when you're a preteen or a teenager are not the most valued qualities. And it's so funny because I have these conversations with people all the time, and I say things like, well, I was like kind of an awkward looking. And then I look at pictures and I'm like, no, I wasn't awkward looking. I really wasn't. I was really cute. I was really pretty, but it's something bigger than that. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter what you look like necessarily. If you feel ostracized, if you feel like you don't fit in, then that's how you are, you know?
And then you just create the cycle where everyone treats you the way you're acting like you expect to be treated. So
and I was really into theater. I felt like I was just like wasting time to graduate from high school so I could move to LA so I could pursue what I really wanted to do. And I don't know, like I had like a core group of girlfriends, but we were not considered the popular kids in school. Like I was friends with these, I'll tell you about my friends in high school, who I'm still friends with. Christy and Jenny were twins who said that they were fraternal, but they looked identical to me. But because of that, Christy was goth and Jenny was like ska.
Love
so
it.
You could tell them apart.
Love it. Keep it easy. Keep it easy.
My friend Christine, who was a super raver. She was like really into raving.
This is good. This is like all the alternative stuff. Like you guys, it's almost like you were a collector set of Barbies.
We were a real collector set.
I can't wait to get to what you were.
My best friend Kate, who had dyed her hair bright red, like she had this like cute, but we were like, she was cute, but it was just bright red hair, and she was really into art. She was like the art girl. Well, they were all sort of into art, and I was into theater. And then my friend Allison Eads, who was a year above us in school, and she was like kind of like a skater girl. And then there was me, and I don't know, I loved Courtney Love. I loved like all the Riot Girl, like L7, and oh my god, I mean, so I wore a lot of vintage dresses. You know, I love vintage dresses still.
Yes, we both do.
Yeah,
we both very much do.
I still have a lot of my high school wardrobe. I wore crazy outfits. I made crazy. I mean, part of this setting myself or feeling left out or feeling pushed to the side of the rest of the school was my own doing, because I would wear costumes to school every day.
Me too. I loved it so
I
much.
had a waitress costume I wore. I mean, waitress.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Like a 1950s waitress dress that I would wear to school.
That's amazing. I can't picture what that looks like.
You know, just like a 1950s waitress dress. And then I would just wear it to school, Janet. But I took like a lot of pride in putting together my crazy outfits and wearing them every day. And, obviously I wanted attention for them.
Right.
Clearly. I didn't mind the negative attention.
Yeah.
I guess.
Well, how negative was it? Were people like,
I think people were like,
Phillips, you're a freak.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Were there boys that were interested in you still? Like, did you
still
like have that sort of energy with people?
Oh God, the boys. Yeah. I was boy crazy. I was always boy crazy.
Yeah.
The worst.
Theater guys or just people for like different walks of life?
Like the skater boys.
Yeah. I always had crushes on skater boys, but I never felt like, ultimately, I didn't feel like I was having great conversations with those guys, and that still somehow matters.
I feel like the guy that was my boyfriend for a while in high school was like fairly smart. Oh my God. So my husband, and my husband's really
very,
smart.
very smart.
Yes. And my husband's very, very smart, and like has this whatever. And one of my best friends from high school and I were dying because I don't want it to get back to him. But anyway, we were dying about what had happened to a couple people that we had dated. We were comparing, and we were just like, can you believe it? Can you believe it? And my husband was like, yeah, you guys dated losers.
I 100%
He's like,
can believe
you guys dated losers.
Oh, no.
And yes,
oh, no.
I can 100% believe
God.
that's where they are.
Oh boy.
Like,
did you go to prom?
Yeah, I had horrible prom experiences.
You did? Like multiple experiences,
yes!
and all of them were bad?
Okay.
Get into that.
Okay, so I had one good prom experience.
How many proms did you go to?
I went to a million. I went to a ton.
I went to 17.
I went to 17 proms. I had one good prom experience. It was sort of fun. Then my senior year, okay, I worked in a restaurant.
Okay.
And there was this guy who was a busboy who asked me to go to his prom at his school. And it was such a jerk. It was a jerky girl thing. I agreed to go even though I didn't really want to. I should have just said no.
Yeah.
But I went, and then I was I felt like, oh God, it was so, my cheeks are going to start burning. But I feel like he was acting weird, and I got really embarrassed to be with him, because he was so weird, acting weird. And, we just knew each other from this restaurant that we worked at. And I wasn't interested in him. I didn't want to date him. I just was kind of going to be nice. But then it ended up being not nice because I wasn't being nice.
Yeah.
Like a shitty girl. I felt terrible about it. So anyway, and then it ended with me literally calling my mom and asking her to come get, can you please come get me? I cannot stay here.
Yeah.
It was awful.
Yeah, I'm sure he didn't know how to behave. And if there was any sense of you not wanting to be there and he picked up on it, then he was probably posturing and being weird because he felt weird. I don't know.
I feel like the way that he had presented it was it was just going to be super easy and casual and friends. And we were friends at the restaurant. I think I quit the restaurant after that.
Oof.
I know. But and then when I got there, it became so apparent that he had other expectations. Uh-huh. And then I kind of didn't know how to deal.
Awkward. That's super weird and awkward for both of you.
Super weird. So that was bad. And then my senior prom. Wait, was that? Oh God, my junior prom. Wait, I had two proms and they were both bad, and I don't remember which is which. But one of them, I had been dating this guy who was in college, of course.
Hey, big stuff.
I think that was my junior year. God, you guys, what are these college dudes doing?
Well, that's what I was going to say. It's it totally makes sense when you're the high school student to be like, guess what, guys? I've got this college person.
Yeah, this is my college boyfriend.
But for the college guy to be yeah, it's cool that she's still in high school. Feels weird.
It's so, in retrospect, so weird.
Yeah.
And is that even allowed anymore?
I don't know. I
feel so we've been watching a lot of Full House in my house.
Oh,
Birdie loves it. And it's on Nick at Night all the time. And there was a storyline where DJ, one of the later episodes where DJ's in high school and she's dating a guy who's 21 and she's 17 in Full House in 1991.
I mean.
So, and Birdie was like, isn't that too old for her? I was like, yes. My 5-year-old picked up on it. But so I had several boyfriends that were in college when I was in high school. And I feel like I'm not going to be so cool when Birdie is 17.
Yeah, I don't know that I would be either. That feels really tricky.
Because the one time, the one boyfriend was my boyfriend when he was a senior and I was a sophomore. And then when I was a junior, he was a freshman in college. He had graduated and he went to ASU and we kept dating, even though he also then was dating half of ASU, which I did not know about.
Right. That can't ever hurt.
Can't ever hurt.
Feelings.
Or,
oh boy.
Yes.
That's rough.
Terrible.
God, you've got some good ones. So many proms. I'm amazed at how many proms. I want to, let's spend a little bit of time looking at some of this stuff really quick. I think that someone is asking about where the dogs are. I can tell you that Ben thinks maybe Chris has Scott. No, he's never had Scott. It's just that they are both at boarding because I'm shooting this pilot out in Thousand Oaks, and I just can't, it's so boring for them to just be alone. So they're staying out where they love staying, running around like mad dogs. And otherwise they, I'm sure, would be here and probably knocking over everything in the room. So that's why the dogs are not here. I wish that they could be. I really do, in some ways, so that you guys could see them in action. I'm just going to check to see if there are any other questions that no. Justin wants to know, will any more episodes of the podcast be live and filmed? Is this a new order? I mean, certainly we might do this again, but this is sort of the experiment that we are making into the momentous event of it being the 100th episode.
So exciting.
Victoria, yeah. I thank you very much, Eric. They're happy to have you back anytime. It's a lot of different stuff to juggle. I got to get better at it. Like, Jimmy Pardo, when he does it, is like there's like 18 people in the room and everyone has a specific job. So he can just be smarmy Jimmy.
Sorry. Museum of Miniatures was donated in 2009 to the Naples Museum of Art in Florida. Thank you, Terry.
Terry is an amazing artist. Terry is an amazing artist.
Well, by the way, we're making a pilgrimage.
I will 100% go there. I can honestly say I never thought I would see the day that we would be like, we got to get to Naples, Florida.
Guys, it's happening.
Possible. Yeah, we got to get there.
It's all happening.
This is very good to know. Terry, thank you so much for telling me that. That's fantastic. Nita, I'm so glad that you're enjoying watching this live. Yeah. It feels weird to me. I mean, it's not like I'm usually picking my nose or anything, but still.
Rachel Blanchard. That was Rachel her name
Blanchard
from Clueless TV show.
For sure, I know who that is. Yeah. She was in one of Bruce McCullough's movies.
I saw her.
Kate, then also look that up.
Shortly after I moved to LA, I saw her at an audition, and I so wanted to like try to explain to her my connection to her.
Here's how I tie in.
But I just couldn't figure it out.
It wouldn't be that interesting
to her. No, I'm sure she'd be like, I don't even know what that is.
It's a kind of a big deal.
Well, listen,
it's a toy fair. Maybe you didn't hear me. It's a toy fair.
Oh, but Sharon Stone came to the toy fair.
She did?
Yes.
What was she doing in Phoenix?
She's like a doll collector, maybe? Why does it all come back to Sharon Stone?
But I love it. Is she a doll collector?
But like she came in, it was all like gossamer and like there was lots of lots of fabric, I remember, and she was like sort of like swooped.
She's a movie star. She really
worked. It was
as soon as she became a movie star, she really worked it.
But this was 1996, 1997. This was like the height of Sharon Stone.
Like post Basic Instinct.
And she like sort of like cupped my face with her hand and said something like you're gonna have a future. Like it was like something amazing.
Sharon Stone, the gypsy, was able to foretell. Yeah. Have you met her since ever?
No.
She's not running in our circles.
No, but we're not running in the same circles. It's weird. She's coming to do Thrilling Adventure Hour next week. No, I'm kidding.
You never know. With those guys, Benz, you never.
By the way, now they're going to like email me and say, "Is there any way you could get in touch with Sharon Stone and ask her if she could? We have this great villain in oh my God, in a Red Plains Rider episode that we're going to be doing."
Listen, never say never. And I want to say one more thing about her, which is that I didn't ever realize
more. I want to I want to say a million more things about Sharon Stone.
I mean, evidently she's so smart. Right?
Yes,
Isn't that part of
yes.
It?
She's so smart.
And my friends, and
evidently,
yeah. Well, I mean, I guess I don't know that much about her. I mean, I guess I remember reading articles about her when I was more fascinated by her. Now, what I most recently heard about her is that Christina Hendricks, who's done the podcast, recently went to see the Dalai Lama speak here.
Oh, I was invited to that and I didn't go.
Well, it sounds like it was, how do I want to say this? Like the LA version of
a spiritual event.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's why I didn't go.
Like I don't want to tell tales out of school. It's not my story to tell. And it's not like Christina was like bitching about it. I asked her to describe it and she described it just matter of factly. But like my takeaway from it was, that sounds like
weird.
Well, a little weird. Yeah. And I think she escorted him out, and that part didn't actually surprise me that much, as if, also if Richard Gere had, it wouldn't have surprised me that much. But the rest of it, well, for one thing, I think a lot of the Real Housewives were there.
Oh no.
So that tips it into satire just like that, right?
Yeah, that whole part is weird. Whenever they're anywhere.
Yeah.
It feels weird.
Yeah. People, I don't even know that much. Somebody wants to bid on so reminding you to bid again, just reminding you to bid. So, reminding you to bid. Someone just asked what my opinion on the singularity is. That's a great question, but probably something I'm not going to make Busy sit through. This is a great question. Inez wants to know, what were Busy's favorite bands
in high school?
Great question.
Oh boy. Okay, so I loved Hole, as I have previously said, and I actually went and saw Courtney Love play at the Troubadour a couple months ago, and it was awesome.
And have you met her? Because she is kind of, there are people that are in her circle that we're friends
I have not met Courtney Love in a very long time, but I met her when I was on Freaks and Geeks, and
I feel that may have been a bad time in her life.
it was not a great time as far as I was concerned, because I was like sort of crushed by her. She just like didn't seem, I don't know. I didn't know what I was expecting. Like, I think I was expecting her to be like, hey, you want to be best friends? I don't know.
It's a lot of people say don't meet your heroes.
You shouldn't meet people that look, yeah. And I was 19, you know, I was like basically still in high school in my head. And yeah, it just was like, it was like a little crushing. It was a bummer. Although, you know, I love Tori Amos too. In high school, I still love Tori Amos. And I've met her many times. Yes, and she's always been so awesome. And
that's
like
great.
The last time I think I met her was when I was pregnant with Birdie. So it was like 6 years ago. And I walked in and she was like, I know you. And I got so excited that she like remembered me. And my friend Abdi and I told her about the writer's strike. It was when the writer's strike was happening. And she was playing at the Nokia Theater downtown. And in the middle of the set, in the middle of her set, she like went on this crazy tangent and was like, writers, where are the writers? Like did this whole thing, and my friend Abdi and I were like losing our minds.
God, it doesn't surprise me at all to hear that she did that. You know what I just realized is you did talk about what bands you liked, because you were talking about how you liked L7, you liked Hole, did you listen to like the Breeders?
I loved the Breeders.
Yeah.
Oh my god,
yeah. That was
deal.
good. I saw the Pixies when they.
Oh,
but she wasn't there, but I did see the Pixies. When
I
they
saw the
reunited,
Pixies.
right?
Yeah,
did you go
yeah.
to that show?
Yeah,
I guess they did like.
I've
shows.
seen them a bunch. Over the years. And I loved Stone Temple Pilots.
Oh, okay.
I
Let's throw them in there.
Stone Temple Pilots.
Eric has never a problem with that. He's giving a begrudging like, yeah, they were pretty great.
That's
not what your voice sounds like. I don't know why I made you Mickey Rourke.
And like in Nirvana, Mickey Rourke works out at my gym, by the way.
Oh, how's he looking?
You know, he looks great. I mean, like totally different.
Chit chat today, aren't we?
I love it. It's my favorite thing.
Good old Mix. I just saw him. What was just on the other day? I was flipping channels and I was like, oh yeah, he was in this. It was something surprising because it was like a small role. And now I'm totally blanking.
He
on
looks
what it
very
was.
different now.
Yes,
than even from the wrestler.
Just
no, I mean
keeps
like
changing.
he's
morphing.
He's constantly morphing.
To the point where, but he's still recognizable to you.
Not really. Not really.
How do you know it's him?
Because he was like vague. It was like, who is that guy? That person looks very familiar to me. That looks very familiar. And I asked my friend who works out at the same gym, and they're like, oh yeah, that's Mickey Rourke. I'm like, what? And then I Googled it, and you guys should Google right now recent pictures of Mickey Rourke, and you will freak out as I did.
One of you can post one if you would like to, because that will be easier for us to see.
I'm hungry.
Are you in the concert film? Aren't we?
I am.
We both are.
Yes.
In the same
thing. In Red Plains Rider. What is it? We're doing. Are we singing?
Yeah,
we're singing.
We both sing in it too.
I
not the same.
Was still in the haze. I had just had the baby. I feel like I was still in like a post-pregnancy. Like I'm fat around the middle phase.
Well, listen, you sounded great, and I don't remember any fat whatsoever.
It's a good thing it's a radio show, but I wish that
sadly the concert
film
not on the radio. No, you look beautiful.
Listen,
as always.
I'm just not one of those women that gives birth and then 3 weeks later I have abs of steel. It's just not who I am.
I'm 100% comfortable with that.
I'm okay with it.
I thank you for representing
those women
in the world who are 99%
who
of us.
don't immediately lose
Hi,
all the weight.
I've never had a baby. All I have to do is like eat shitty for 3 days, and I look like I've had a baby.
I know.
So fuck it.
It's interesting. Once your stomach stretches out, though, it's like it's crazy. I can puff my stomach out and look 6 months pregnant.
Ooh, that's kind of a good get. I hope you put that on your resume.
It's one of my special skills.
It's great.
Special talent.
Great. Here's a good question for you. What are some roles you've auditioned for that you didn't get?
Everything ever. Literally.
It sure feels like that, doesn't it?
Oh my God. I have auditioned for everything. Here's what I will say. I will say this. I have never lost the job that made the other person a huge star.
Oh, that's nice. Because there are a lot of people can't.
A lot of people have that story where it was like, it was between me and Renee Zellweger for Jerry Maguire. And it was like, well, that's a fucking bummer for you.
Right. Right. Yeah, because you don't want to live in that place.
In that place, or like,
I was just listening.
Or it was me and Katie Heigl against each other for Knocked Up. That didn't happen.
Yeah.
So
you don't want to live in that place. Yeah, I do have some friends who are like, and because if you hold on to that, toxic poison.
Oh God, yeah.
You'll just take that around with you, and this goes for you guys, not auditioning for stuff, but when stuff like this happens in all of our lives, this is just a representative. This is showbiz representation of shit that happens to all of us all the time.
Yep.
As soon as you start carrying around that chip on your shoulder, or that feeling of like, if that one turn of events had just
sliding doors, it's your sliding doors moment.
You will continue to poison your future.
Yeah.
I strongly feel.
I completely.
So even if you did have a moment like that, my sense of you is that it wouldn't be that for you. You know
I just also think though that that there's a time in your life where you compare yourself to others, and then hopefully for most people, certainly for myself, there's a time in your life when that stops.
Mm-hmm.
And when you come to the realization that this is who I am, this is where I'm at, this is what I do, this is where I'm going, and that's unique to me.
Oh, I love what you're saying.
You know what I mean?
Everything that's coming out of your mouth right now. I do know what you mean. I feel like it's so important, but but don't you feel like you have to exercise that? Like, it doesn't, I don't know that, I think as you age, it develops in you naturally to a certain degree, but it also can be the active choice of like, could I start that process earlier? Or could I, am I being too hard on myself about this by really holding up the mirror to everyone else and being like, oh, should I be doing this? Should I be like this? This person has this and I don't have that. Does that make me worse? Or, should my ambition be solely based on like what someone else's ambition looks like or whatever? And I do think that like you said, it does change as we age, but like how great to give yourself the opportunity to kind of exercise those muscles and build them up sooner. No?
Yeah.
Or do you just have
to
go
I don't
through
think,
it?
I think you have to go through it.
Yeah. I hear you. That's probably true. Great question, guys. Are you in the concert film? I'm trying to involve you guys as much as possible without going too far off the rails.
Why do I have all these ones that you don't have? Or do you just have so many?
Maybe they don't all load. Oh yeah. Oh, Michelle, hi, sweetie. That's sort of condescending. That's certainly not how I meant it.
Hi, sweetie.
Hi, sweetie. Not at all. I meant to have my mug. She sent me this amazing mug that has my little paper doll cut out for my website with a JV club, and on the other side it says, "Hey guys," because that's how I always introduce the podcast episode.
I love that.
It's an amazing mug. I'm sorry I don't have it, but she thinks that we should do the 200th episode from Naples, Florida.
Well, I'm coming.
The miniature collection. I mean, please, I'm not
obviously
go with that. I'm not going to go without
you.
Wait, ever.
Somebody, Tiana, wants to know, both of us, is there a movie that you or your kids are sick of? My sister and I watched Hook too much and ruined it for our mom. I loved the movie Hook so much.
I've seen it one time, but I do a lot of
yo!
stuff. But this is my friend Dante does a voice.
I know Dante.
Okay, so you know Dante.
Well, no, I mean I know him from Hook.
So I do like cons with him and stuff because he was on the first season, the first series of Avatar, and I'm on this one, and so we love doing cons and stuff together, and people are crazy nuts for that movie and for that character, and I didn't even remember what it was. Like I had seen Hook once, and like people chant Rufio when they see him. And I had to be like, I don't know what they are talking about.
What was your favorite movie? What were your favorite? Okay, wait, and I'll finish mine. Can't Buy Me Love was
filmed in Tucson.
Kind
of a big deal.
Huge deal. And
Revenge of the Nerds was filmed in Tucson too.
That I never watched when I was a kid. But
it's probably before your time, because I watched it as like my dad being like, you've got to see this.
Right. But Can't Buy Me Love, I had such a huge crush on Patrick Dempsey. Yeah. And I honestly believe that informed my taste in men.
I think that's entirely possible. I feel like that's true. That's gotta be true.
I've always liked guys with dark curly hair.
Yeah, and you married one.
And I married one.
You married someone who could be like.
And then I was in a movie with Patrick Dempsey, and I like had to climb on top of him in my underwear.
Hey.
And
did that feel surreal?
Very surreal, and also like, I don't know. A part of me was just it wasn't what I don't know. I had just gotten married, so I wasn't. I don't know. I felt uncomfortable about it.
I talk about that too, but those moments where there's like there's a weird time warp where you sort of just wish it were happening to you at a different time in your life, because it would have been something or meant something different.
Yeah.
And that's how I felt when I worked with Owen Wilson on something, because I'd had such a huge crush on him when I was younger. And he's a lovely person. Like, he was amazing. But when I met him, I was like, oh, I'm not, like, we're not going to get involved. Like, why am I not? Because, you know what I mean? Like, whether I'm principally because why would he be interested in me? But also just this general sort of like, no, this is not a thing. This is going to happen. And like, I'm really okay with it. And I'm almost sad that I'm okay with it, because I would have had this whole other idea of what this would have meant.
I feel like you and
10
I
years ago
are really similar in that we're fans of things.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not afraid to be. I'm like a huge fan of stuff.
For sure. I hope
like,
I
I'm
never
not
stop
too
getting
cool.
super excited.
Yeah,
about
yeah,
stuff.
yeah. And I get really excited. Okay,
Yeah.
so what were your favorite movies?
Okay, favorite
when you were
movies.
a kid?
When I was a kid, definitely Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory over and over with Gene Wilder. Definitely The Man with Two Brains, which was like a Sam Levine thing too. He's obsessed with that movie. Definitely, I don't know, a lot of comedy movies like The Three Amigos.
Yeah, I remember watching that a lot.
Know? But I did love Dirty Dancing.
Oh, oh my God,
Right?
Dirty Dancing. How could I forget?
I mean, please, that's a
And
big one.
I had the
Flash
tape.
Dance. I loved Flashdance.
I didn't.
I just saw the
I
tape.
wasn't allowed to watch Flashdance.
I shouldn't have been allowed to, because my dad let me see it for the dance stuff, but it's a very sexy movie. So
It's
I was
very
confused
risque
by it, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I watched a lot of Saved by the Bell.
Never had seen it. Have only seen one episode ever.
Are you serious?
Swear to God.
Every afternoon I watched Oprah and Saved by the Bell.
Oh, see, that's like somewhere out there, someone's like, that's all you need.
It is kind of like
it's
is all you need.
just those two things growing up.
And
I watched
90210. I was really invested and really into
I
90210.
think I definitely watched 90210. I definitely didn't feel as strongly about. You know what I was really into? This is embarrassing. The show called China Beach. Did you
Me
watch
too.
that? You did?
I loved China Beach
That is one of those shows
with
that,
Dana
like,
Delaney and Mark Helgenberger.
Yes, Mark Helgenberger, Dana Delaney, and then also Megan. I'm forgetting Megan's last name right now, but I worked with her on something, and I totally nerded out. And she's like been in a million things, and I think she was on Hill Street Blues, and she's been on a bunch of stuff since then. And so when I met her, like, it was one of those situations where the last thing she expected me to geek out on was China Beach. But when I met her, I was like, oh my
China
God,
Beach was
China
so
Beach.
good.
It was so amazing on China Beach, right? I feel like it was.
So that was in the 80s
I think I was seeing reruns
Or
on
not-
Lifetime
or late
or something.
8. How old are you?
I'm older than you. I'm
You are?
38, yeah.
Oh, I wouldn't have known that.
Thanks.
I watched it live with my mom. My mom was
Maybe
a huge.
I was watching
you
new
watched
episodes.
it. You
I feel
watched
like
new
I was,
episodes.
but I just feel like I was watching it. It seemed like it was on every day. You know what I mean? So it felt like I watched all of it at once somehow. So I thought I was watching reruns, but maybe I was watching it live. Yeah, I feel like I want to go back to it and see if it holds up, because I'm nervous that it doesn't hold up.
But you don't have to go back. There's
Well,
so
wouldn't it
much
be nice
television.
To revisit all those characters again.
A little bit.
Is that her name?
McMurphy.
For sure.
That show was so good.
Old McMurphy.
That's what I want to do. I want to do China Beach.
Through the shadows of my tears. China Beach remake?
Yeah, let's do it.
Which character would you want to play?
Oh God. I mean, I think I'm kind of the Mark Helgenberger.
I knew you were going to say that.
Yeah.
And I was going to say you'd
Right?
be great at it.
Yeah.
Who would I be? Oh,
I don't know.
not Dana's character.
You're not really that.
I might be Megan's character. She was like the... who was she? I think she might have been were they all doctors? I think they were all doctors.
And nurses.
And nurses.
Mark Helgenberger was a nurse.
Yeah. No, Mark Helgenberger was a prostitute.
Oh.
What?
Did he just say it started when I was born?
No.
Come on.
Oh, no.
I know, I hate it. Oh my God, wait, can I tell you the worst terminology that I heard from my friend who's in a band?
Please.
These guys,
So this is like new terminology you
new
had not heard
terminology.
before.
Well,
Yeah.
I don't know. You may have.
Interesting.
Like when they hook up with girls that are really young
Uh-huh.
when they're on the road, they call it touching the 90s.
Oh no.
Isn't that
That's
disgusting?
So appropriate. That's pretty intense. Touching the 90s.
And I was like, ugh, I guess you're just petting the 70s. Like, I don't know what. Just like patting the 70s on the
Oh
head.
God. Touching the 90s.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it is.
But it took place-
But
I
it's
mean-
more of a woman show.
It's
If
yeah,
I
and
might
it
be
took
so
place.
bold.
It was the Vietnam War.
Yeah.
That was the war that, or was
Yeah.
it Korea?
I think Oh, it might have been Korea.
I can't remember. I think it's Vietnam.
No, it's Vietnam. Because MASH was Korea. Boy, I
Wait.
never watched MASH. I gotta be honest with you.
What?
Do you like playing video games, Biz?
No.
Oh, someone posted a picture of Mickey Rourke.
Oh, go down.
Oh,
There you go.
Oh,
Wait, look how skinny he
yeah.
is. No, scroll down. Oh, wait, you can't scroll down more.
He's very thin, and his lips. All of it, the rest of his weight is in his lips. That's what happened. It's all in his lips.
That would be my
guys, we
dream.
gotta get into MASH. I could do this forever, but it's already been an hour, so I gotta get it going. Yeah, we gotta get.
I don't
we'll
know
get
what
you
that
outta here.
means, but okay.
Did you ever? It's good. Your segue of China Beach being like MASH is segueing us into mansion, apartment, shack, house. There's no way you didn't play this.
Of course.
Okay, good. All right, so we're gonna play a game of MASH.
Yeah. All right.
I'm gonna start with I really want to know because I don't think that we got fully into it, but I felt we were getting there, and also because I very much respect and adore your husband, and I do not want him to feel threatened in any way. I would like for your boyfriend of this MASH game to be. I want you to give me 3 guys that you had, like famous people that you had crushes on in high school.
So Patrick
Definitely
Dempsey.
Patrick Dempsey. We know that.
Leonardo DiCaprio from Growing Pains. That's how old I
Wait,
am.
he was on Growing Pains?
Yeah.
Another show I never watched. I watched Family Ties. Not like you had to choose. It's not like
You
had to
didn't. You
make a
didn't have to
decision.
choose. You could watch.
I
those.
had to make the choice.
And then also, I
made the
did
very
love him
difficult
in Titanic. I was in high. I was like the perfect
Yeah.
age when Titanic came
Yeah,
out. I
that's
was.
fair.
I think I was like 15.
choice. Fair. Well, this is what my mash
Or
pads look
16.
like, guys. For those
15.
of you who are wondering, my wonderful mash pads that Jules and Victoria made.
Okay, and then let's just put Scott Weiland, the lead singer of
course.
Stone Temple Pilots.
Of course. Is he? Which one died? Did he die?
No.
Someone. Oh, Alice in Chains guy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Lane
Scott.
Stanley.
We hope Scott's alive and well.
I think he's really struggled. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
But I think he's okay now.
Heroin.
I don't. Yes. I think he had some heroin
Yeah.
issues. It's always heroin. Heroin's the worst,
Fucking
guys.
Heroin, man.
Don't do heroin.
I will say this. Will tell you whatever else you do not do heroin. Don't do it. Hey, I finally said it because I did a lot of drugs when I was younger.
crystal meth.
Also, please don't do meth.
You did?
I did a lot of drugs when I
Me
was younger.
too.
These
You
guys
know why?
Because you're in Arizona.
Yes.
and access and nothing
There's
else to do.
nothing else to
I
do
know.
but drugs.
I know. But I never did heroin, and I don't ever want any of you to do heroin. It's not worth trying. There, I finally gave someone a just say no message. I've never done that before, I don't think. Okay. Next category is going to be if you could have been on a TV show when you were in high school. 3 that you would have won.
90210.
I knew it. Great.
Obviously. I auditioned for 90210 when I moved out here. It was like in its last
Gasps.
year.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I auditioned for a part and I did not get it.
I think we're all happy that you ended up on Freaks and
I
Geeks.
think it's probably better for everyone. You know what else I was like kind of close on, and had I gotten would not have been on Freaks and Geeks, was there was a part in Xena Warrior Princess.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not kidding.
You would
and
have a different fan base.
I would have a different life.
And you would have a different life. I'm very glad.
It'd be
again,
crazy.
They were on Freaks and Geeks.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
In high school, okay, designing women.
Oh my
I don't
God,
know if that was
amazing.
on when I was in high school, but I love designing women.
I love the idea of you being a character on Designing Women.
Designing Women is, to me, I mean, to be fair, that's like one of my favorite TV shows of all time, I think.
It's right. Well, it's definitely like Golden Girls Designing
I was going to
Women,
say
right?
Golden Girls, too.
You want to throw that on
Yeah,
there?
I mean,
Great.
why not?
Great. Golden G's.
Golden G's.
Golden G's. I'm going with my personal favorite. You have access to a food that you enjoy, whether it's good for you or not, at any second, blink of an eye. Could be like your favorite burrito in Phoenix. Could just be you wish you could eat more cupcakes.
Right. I think we have to go. I do have like a deep-seated, from growing up in Arizona, deep-seated love for chips and salsa.
Yes. Yes, indeed. It's tricky, too. You don't want it too salty.
No,
don't want it too
they have to be
oniony,
perfect.
Don't want it too spicy.
Yeah. I could
and
eat that right
salsa.
now.
Me too. I know, and you're hungry, and I am too. We'll have to figure that out.
Okay, chips and salsa, like, I'm going to choose all junk food.
That's what the game's for.
Pizza.
Great. What kind of pizza? Not that matters. I just like to know what you like.
I like thin crust,
Mhm.
really thin crust.
Mhm.
And I
Do you like
either
a lot
like
on it, or do you like
no,
a simple
no. I like a
margarita?
really not a margarita.
Good.
Either just like a plain cheese,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
margarita's not enough cheese.
Yeah, you're right. It is. It's like
3 dollops of fucking cheese.
a couple circles of cheese.
Enough. And the basil,
Yeah.
I don't need it.
Yeah. All right.
Keep it.
I will keep
You
the basil.
keep it.
I will keep the basil, but I also need more cheese.
I like either cheese and mushroom or
Yeah.
cheese and pepperoni.
All right. Let me just quickly say this. There is a pizza Okay, I'm gluten free. I've been gluten free
Me
for about
too.
7 years.
I'm gluten free too.
Okay, then I'm very happy about this. If you have not had this pizza, oh my God, I'm so excited. I got so excited. There is a pizza.
Where?
It's a frozen pizza at Whole Foods. It is a fairly new brand. I will find out what it is. It is a cheese and mushroom pizza.
Gluten free.
It is maybe the best pizza I've ever had in my life.
Come on. All right.
It is so good.
Yeah.
And
this is also
my boyfriend has a pizza oven in his backyard and is a huge pizza snob.
Yeah, so's Mark.
And
oh my
he's
God.
like, it's the best pizza I've ever had.
Oh my God. Oh my, I'm going.
Gluten free. No. You're going to lose your mind.
I'm actually,
so
I'm leaving here and going to Whole Foods.
So excited. I have to
get milk anyway.
I will find what it looks like. I'll find it online and we'll find out what it's called.
Okay.
Yeah. If anyone, it is so goddamn good. I've had they'd make a different flavor. It just tastes like a normal, decent gluten-free pizza. This mushroom thing, they've got it down. They've figured it out. I can't wait. I cannot wait for you. Okay. Pizza. And then number 3.
I mean, can I say, I can't say chips and salsa again. Maybe I would eat chips and salsa all the damn time.
How do you feel about nachos?
I love nachos. I love them all.
We
I
could
love
make
it all.
Nachos.
Yeah,
That's
let's just make it
like
nachos.
saying it twice. Okay, great.
Nachos is the pizza of the Mexican world.
That's exactly what happened. We've got 2 things, and they had a baby, and that's the third thing. Fantastic. Okay, you have a shop somewhere. I don't know if it's here. I don't know if it's in Vancouver. I don't know if it's in New York. Okay. You have 3 different places that sell goods of some kind. So you could be like, it's a pottery place in Santa Fe, and then there's a cafe in New York, and then there's but I need 3.
All right. So I have a coffee shop.
Mm-hmm. If you want.
In Los Angeles.
Great.
Or I have a vintage clothing store in Portland.
Yeah. Oh God, I wish you did so bad.
I know, it would be fun.
Oh, it'd be so great.
And then in New York, I have an indoor kids play place. So random, but I feel like you would make a ton of money.
It's funny you would say that because Zandy Hardig.
Yeah. I know Zandy.
Recently also said something similar, and I was like, this needs to happen ASAP. Her idea was cafe on one side, plexiglass, but noise proof, pay for daycare for just like an hour while you enjoy other adults' company, drink a coffee, and you watch your kid happily playing right next to you, but you don't have to hear him.
100%.
Right?
Yes.
Brilliant.
Sold.
Got to get on it. Okay. Next category is you can dive into a movie and just live in it. Live in that fictitious world.
Live in the movie.
Whenever you want. Come in, go out, come in, go out.
Oh, boy.
Just jump in. Imagination.
Ay. What would be the most fun?
And you could even take one of your kids or both if you wanted to like make their day. If it was like Birdie's obsessed with blah blah blah, I would take her into that movie with me.
I mean, Birdie's obsessed with Frozen.
Maybe.
All right.
Maybe
I'll take her into Frozen.
Great. Somebody didn't turn my phone off.
AKA
Frozen. Great.
Okay, I would jump into, I don't know, this is hard. I can't think of any movies. What if I chose Gravity? That would be so intense.
Oh my God.
What? I can't think of any movies.
What about like, along the ilk of like, are there any fantasy movies that you sort of love? Like a Lord of the Ringsy kind of like a How about like
Nope.
How about like
you know that
like
movie,
a Woody Allen movie? I'm not saying he's not on our list right now.
We can't.
People, but
this
is tough.
What about that Leonardo DiCaprio movie, the Island one, but before it goes
before
bad,
everything goes bad, before people get eaten by sharks and stuff.
Yeah.
The Island, right? It's called The Beach.
It's based on that book. The book is really good.
I can't stop watching that movie. If that movie comes on, I watch it from whatever point it's on until it's over.
I agree with you. I feel the same way about that movie.
Even though I'm super weirded out by it.
Yeah,
but
it's
I get
weird.
Swept up in it, and then I just can't take my eyes off it.
It also is like making me think about the missing plane right now, which is like freaking me out.
Which is so weird. Yeah, that's real weird.
It is weird. And you know what? It does? It reminds me, all of us, I think why everyone's having such a crazy hard time with it, reminds all of us that no matter how locked in we think we all are, no matter how connected we think we are, it would be possible
to disappear.
To just fucking disappear.
Yeah.
Especially, and
it's a real uncomfortable feeling.
That the world is way fucking bigger than us.
I agree with you 100%. And you're absolutely right. If this had happened 100 years ago,
it would be like, oh yeah, well that plane's gone.
Of course it's gone. Everything disappears.
Right.
We don't know anything about anything.
I don't even mean to be laughing, but that's like just so correct. If this had happened,
also they'd be like,
if this had happened 30 years ago,
what is this thing?
If this had happened 30 years ago, it would have been the same reaction.
You're right.
But it's like, it just feels like we should have more control.
Yeah, I totally agree.
And it's terrifying that we don't.
Excellent point.
Okay. So the beach before it all goes bad. And then
I like where you're going with the beach though. It feels like you're getting into a territory that you could think of another thing. Like Jurassic Park before everything goes bad.
Oh, that would be fun.
Right?
I don't want to be in Jurassic Park.
Have to be in Jurassic Park.
Would it be weird if I said Steel Magnolias?
Not at all.
Okay.
You want to be with those women? I totally get it.
Before Shelby dies.
Yeah, sure.
You will always be young.
Oh my God.
You will always be beautiful.
Please. Speaking of crying.
I love Steel Magnolias.
Okay, we're gonna race through these last three. Actually,
Sorry,
I'm gonna let somebody. You guys. Now listen. There's an 8-second delay, but I would like to invite you to come up with the next category for Busy for the Smash.
I also watched
game.
Steel Magnolias a ton when I was a kid. A ton.
You would think that I would have watched that more. But I think I've only seen it like 3 times.
And you know what else I watched? Weirdly, The Pelican Brief.
That's another one where someone was just saying to me, like, actually, that's a really good movie. I watched The Firm over and over again.
Okay. Oh, with Brad
Renfro.
Renfro?
I really like The Firm.
Wasn't that the one with Brad Renfro?
I don't know.
Oh, no.
That's Tom Cruise, for sure, and Jeannie Triplehorn.
No. So I
don't know
what's the other one with Brad Renfro and Susan Sarandon?
That's
John Grisham. The Client. The Firm Client. Okay.
Yeah. I'm glad, Kellyanne, that this episode has been a delight. But I do, again, invite you to, and maybe check your phone to see who wants to do, someone give me a category for Busy's next
I feel like it's
Smash.
weird that person says it's weird to see the body language. I don't know what that means. We're friends in real life.
Yeah, no, but maybe just like my weird. But see, this isn't a natural representation because normally I would be, sitting on the floor and like I wouldn't be conducting myself this way. Okay, I'm gonna think of a category while we wait for someone to weigh in. Give me the vacation home. 3 vacation homes.
Oh God. Where? Locations? Yeah. Turks and Caicos.
I don't even know how to spell that.
Turks, Turks.
Okay, that's
and Caicos, Caicos. Is that right? I don't know. It's hard for me to spell without spelling.
Got it. All right, Michelle, I just got your note. I will do that as the next category. Okay, got it. Turks and Caicos.
Yes.
You'll know what this is when I can't remember what one of these says. Okay.
Turks and Cakes.
Read it. Got it. Good.
Let's see. How about San Miguel de Allende?
Oh, I love how specific these places are. It's quite wonderful. San Miguel, great.
De Allende.
I can't fit De Allende.
Come on.
But
you should try.
This is a very fat-tipped marker.
And Tulum.
Oh, God. Everyone's been telling me I got to go Tulum.
It might be too late.
Tulum too late?
It might be
Tulum
too late.
Mode of transport. Doesn't have to be a car. Could be you get around via hot air balloon. Could be you get around via, just use your imagination.
I'm afraid of heights and I don't love flying.
Definitely not going to fly you.
I want a bike.
Great. Like a bicycle? Or
a bicycle.
Okay, great.
A bicycle.
I stand.
I would like a Segway. That would be the worst one. The worst to get a Segway.
Listen, no problem, guys. I'll hop on my Segway. I'll see you in 3 hours.
And I would like, I guess I want to try to drive one of those Teslas.
Sure.
Why wouldn't I want to drive
that? Get you into one of those.
Come on.
Magical mystery machines.
All right.
Final category.
Oh my God.
Final category.
Does anyone come up with one?
Cars. I do talk with my hands a lot, and I would talk with my hands way more if I didn't have all this bullshit in front of me.
What you wish for your daughters.
It's very sweet and emotional. I did that recently with Heidi, which was a fun category. Yeah, it was like,
who's Heidi?
My last guest, or one of my last guests. Yeah, like
okay. What would I
wish
for my daughter?
For your daughters.
Oh
what if
God.
you're like big boobs? Everyone just logs off.
I just wish happiness.
Yeah.
Love. Mm-hmm. Fulfillment.
Great. they'll only get one of those.
No.
Just kidding. All right, tell me when to stop.
Stop.
Oh, very quick. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, guys, this is what happens when usually I pause the podcast so that they don't have to listen to.
So what can I talk about while you do this?
Good idea.
Okay. Wait, should I answer a question?
Yeah. Is there
All right. Let's see.
Oh, superpower would have been a good one.
I hate that question. I hate the superpower question.
Listen, it turned out not to be a good one for this one.
Oh my God. Okay. So wait, let me tell you guys. What should I tell you?
Someone is mad that I didn't watch the show MASH. I know. Should I go back and revisit it? Do you like playing video games? That's a question.
No, you already asked me that.
Oh,
I said no.
Bloom. Oh, that was Nicholas's question. I don't really, but you know what I have played recently is The Room, the app, the iPad app, The Room and The Room 2. A lot of fun, guys, because it's more like scavenger hunt stuff, which I do very much enjoy.
Oh, what books did you love in middle and high school? Okay, that's a great one.
Talk about that, and I'll do this.
Amy, I'll answer that. Let's see. I was an avid reader, and I always have been since I was a kid, a little kid. But I guess my favorite books in high school, I did love The Catcher in the Rye, you guys. And then what else did I love? There weren't like all of these. I feel like there weren't a lot of, like whatever these things are, the vampire. Oh my God, I'm such an old lady.
Whatever
the vampire books
are.
I feel like there weren't a lot of those around when I was in high school.
Anne Rice is the only thing that there was.
Loved Anne Rice.
You're backtracking right out of this.
Loved Anne Rice. I did, but that wasn't YA. That was like grown-up books.
You're right. That's very true. Yeah,
they were for grown-ups, and they were. There was no like suggesting sex. It was full vampire penetration.
It definitely was. I
actually weirdly liked her witch book. I don't remember what it was called. I read that one. I remember my favorite books in high school. I'm trying to think. You know what else I did because I was nerdy and I wanted to be an actress was I read a lot of plays. And I loved The House of Blue Leaves by John Guare.
Oh, yeah, that's a great play. I love John Guare in general. And I met him in San Francisco.
You did?
I went to a conversation that he did. And when I brought my 6 Degrees of Separation play for him to sign.
Yeah, 6 Degrees of Separation was also my favorite.
I was there with my boyfriend at the time. And the first thing out of his mouth, and this is in San Francisco, mind you, when I was like 19. And the first thing out of his mouth when I walked up to him was, "Are you an actress? Are you a beautiful actress?" And I was like, I mean, but at the time I wasn't. So I was like, no, because I had abandoned it when I moved to San Francisco. But he was very sweet. And then he was like, wait, is this yours or his? And I said, well, it's mine, but like, we can share it. And he goes, well, what happens if you break up? And I was like, I don't know. And so it says, and by the way, I do have the copy.
Of course you
all
do.
All due respect to my ex-boyfriend, to Janet and Matt, till the end of time, John Guare. He was like, I guess you can't ever break up now.
That's amazing.
Sadly, that's not what happened.
No.
Do you want your results?
I'm dying for them.
Ms. Phillips, we have your test results.
Okay. I'm going to live in a shack.
Diagnosis, MASH. Okay, you are not going to live in a shack. I don't know how this is going to work, though, because your vacation house is an apartment in Tulum.
Nice.
How many apartments are there?
It could work.
Yeah?
I've been there.
Okay.
There could be an apartment like above like a fucking yoga studio.
Got it. I'm glad that you get a chance to get away from your busy life, not just as an actor, but as a coffee shop owner in Los Angeles.
Woohoo! This is like actually could happen.
This absolutely could happen. Are you kidding me? You are also on the show Designing Women. Yeah, you got the best one. That was your number one. A lot of the times it feels like the middle list item is the favorite. It's like you warm up with the first idea, then you get to the one you really want, and then you have an afterthought that's 3. That's what I think happens with a lot of women who do the MASH game. So I feel that you got your number one choice. Now,
what?
In this case, I know that your number one choice is your number one choice that came to your mind, which is unlimited supply of chips and salsa. Whenever you want it.
This is really, I'm scared to continue on because so far,
I know.
This has really worked out for me.
And it just, again, it feels reasonable. And also reasonable, you go get around by bike. Sure.
Well, yeah.
Why not?
Yeah, because I live in LA and Tulum.
Yeah.
This is awesome.
Yeah, no, I know.
And I'm eating chips and salsa. I'm loving this.
Your daughters are going to have infinite supply of happiness, possibly in part because you can dive right into Frozen with them. Wherever they want to go.
This is the best.
Wherever they want to go.
Really, really the best.
That only leaves us with the most absurd.
No. Oh, no.
The most absurd, unrealistic element, which
Who
is...
am I married to?
Scott Weiland.
No.
Listen, that's
And
why
then
they
it
invented
all
divorce.
falls apart. But maybe my marriage to him is how I afforded the Tulum, how I afford to open my coffee shop, and how I afford my Tulum apartment. Because when I divorce him, I just take just a chunk of that Stone Temple Pilots money. This
could be a past tense situation, even like, oh, your ex-husband Scott Weiland. Got it. Got it. That's what led to all of this. I gotcha.
It's too bad we didn't put Mark there just to see if I would have gotten Mark.
I think we both know you ended up with Mark and not Scott Weiland.
That's true.
Well, that's really it, guys. And this was an hour and a half. I hate to say goodbye, but I just want to. I'll end with this last question from Kevin asking, "What would you do? What would you be doing if you weren't acting?" Other than owning
acting.
Yeah, I know.
Acting in my living room.
That's the real question. I mean, you guys already know the answer to mine, which is like 18,000 other things. But
well, I do.
That's what I
actually do 18,000 other things too. I mean,
but I never expected to work out for me, so I always was like the plan B person. Was like, well, I guess I'll just do this instead. You know.
Right. I'm just a person that never stops moving.
Same.
But I really like momming a lot, so I would maybe make momming my full-time job.
Yeah.
And then, I think I could have been on the forefront of the bakery trend because I'm a baker and I make these like crazy 3D sculptural cakes. And I've always done that. I've done that. Since I was in high school.
If you can trot out any pictures, especially of high school cakes, I don't know if those things get recorded, but
no, but I do have, on my Instagram and on my Twitter, I have like a lot of cakes posted that people can look at. I just did an Olaf cake from Frozen.
Oh,
and
amazing. Your daughters are very lucky.
Yeah, for my kid's best friend's birthday. And so I probably maybe would have actually when I was doing, again, watch out for this name that I'm about to drop.
I don't know if I'm ready.
When I was doing the movie White Chicks, Keenan Ivory Wayans, pick it up. Told me that I should open a bakery. That he was like, he's like, you really should open a bakery.
Oh my God, that sounds great. We should find it. The coffee shop is clearly also a bakery, like with fresh baked.
Yeah, 100%. But I'm really into coffee. I love good coffee.
Where do you like to go?
Here in LA.
Yeah, do you go to like Intelligentsia?
I actually don't go to Intelligentsia because I just can't.
I don't go there either. There's always a huge line.
I like this place called Coffee Commissary. I think it's really good. Okay. And this place called Eye of the Tiger on Larchmont.
Never heard of it. Sounds like
Go Get 'em Tiger, not Eye of the Tiger. That's the song.
Sounds like a boxing gym.
Go Get 'em Tiger.
Go Get 'em Tiger.
Go Get 'em Tiger on Larchmont.
Check that out.
It's really intense and good.
Biz, I'm gonna release you to the wilds.
Look at my weird position. Eye of the Tiger is my coffee shop.
Now, I want to encourage you guys, again, if you have the opportunity to buy a gift for someone else in support of Art of Elysium, I know there are some listeners' birthdays coming up. What if I knew all my listeners' birthdays? I wish I did. Feel free to do that. That's a great idea. If you're like, but if you know you need to buy someone a gift anyway and you think they could stand an amazing book, for example, by one of these amazing people, I encourage you to support.
You think they could stand an amazing book?
I think that you could tolerate it if you could tolerate it. And then the only last thing I will say, Eric, is if you want to try to do a sweep, we'll try to give you a sweep. And I'm glad that my legs have ended up in the same awkward position that we started. So that's important. So we'll do a sweep of the room and then we'll sign off. And I'm so appreciative of all of you guys who came and hung out with us. There were a ton of you. So I'm thrilled and overwhelmed, and
it was really fun.
This was a successful experiment. I cannot think of another person. There's Eric. I cannot think of another person that I would have wanted. Yeah. Oh yeah. And for sure the fundraiser keeps going. And now we're gonna do the pan around. I'm gonna watch the computer to see what the pan around ends up looking like with the 8-second delay. All right. Looking. He's holding. He's
so fun.
Wrapping around to
here goes
the different stuff. There's a delay, so I don't know if that means that what I'm about to describe is stuff you've already seen. Fax machine, very important. Matterhorn, desk, sure, that's the rest of the house. Yep. Television looks
he's
larger
back at
than
us
it
already.
is. And It's artwork, great. Foam roller, I've talked about it. That's where Eric was sitting. This is some guitars, everything else you just saw. And then, Eric, do you want to show what you look like? And he doesn't want to. There it is. And there he is. That's him. So, guys, thank you again so much for watching. And I hope you enjoy the audio version of this if you're listening to it. And thanks for celebrating my 100th episode with me. And you're amazing. And I always forget to call you the janitors. But I love you guys. Okay. Bye.
The janitors. I love it.
It's so ridiculous. Waving. And I can't stand to look at it any longer.
Hilarious.